Hey guys, Jake Wisely here, and today we're going to be talking about how to travel with all of your gear. Now as filmmakers, we accumulate a ton of gear, and a lot of which we think we need for all of our shoots. And for me especially, I do a lot of destination weddings, so I'm always traveling, and that brings about a ton of challenges. And so today we're just going to kind of walk you through my process of how I travel with my gear, tips for traveling, how I pack things, what bags to recommend for traveling, and some of the rules of traveling that you want to adhere to. So first I have with me my 3 or 4, I should say, main bags, as you can see here. I got a couple Pelicans, a sticks bag, and then this backpack here. So I'm just gonna kind of walk you through each bag, kind of discuss like what it's for, why I think I need it, what it holds, what it can and cannot hold, and the purpose of each one. So let's talk about air travel. I think air travel is the most important thing. We're not gonna be discussing most travel. We're mainly just wanna be talking about how to travel with your gear when you're going on an airplane, because airplanes have specific rules and regulations you have to adhere to. One of those rules being how many bags you can check and how many bags you can carry on the plane. Now, almost every airline allows you to have one personal item and one carry-on to bring onto the plane in your hands. Personal item is something like a purse, a backpack, a dog carrier, something you hold in your hands usually or wear on your back. Whereas a carry-on item is more like a small suitcase or clear baggage that could be checked, but you're using it to carry on and put in the overhead bins. So for my personal item, I have my Wandered backpack here. This is the Wandered backpack PRVKE series, 31 liters, which I use as my personal item. And inside this, I carry my laptop, and we'll kind of get into this last about like if you just want to know what's the best minimal setup to carry on a backpack. We're gonna go over that last. But this is usually my personal item that carries my my laptop, my phone chargers, some accessories. Sometimes I bring my Nintendo Switch and I pack it in here. So great bag, love it. Very durable, very lightweight, very comfortable. As for my carry-on item, I use this Pelican Air case. This is the Pelican 1535. And the reason I love the Pelican 1535 is because it's built to be a carry-on piece of equipment. It's built to fit perfectly in airplanes in the overhead cargo space. It's compact, it's very durable, and it fits in planes, as I've said. So as you can see here, this is my carry-on, and this is what I want with me at all times. There's a lot of risk when you're traveling with expensive film equipment, especially for me when I have a lot of expensive cameras and lenses. I want those things to stay in my hands as much as possible. I don't want to trust anybody with my gear. I want to be responsible for it as much as I can. If an airline damages your bag, it's not their fault at all. There's no precautions, there's no ways you can get insurance for it. They're not responsible for damaging your stuff. If they do damage it, it's technically your fault because you should have packed it better. When I travel, I want to make sure that my most expensive and fragile items are on me at all times. So in my carry-on, I'll keep my camera bodies, things I will never lose, and my most important lenses. So that way, if the airline does lose my checked bags, I'm not cameraless for a wedding, right? I still have my cameras, I have my lenses, I have my batteries, and I can still shoot the wedding. This stuff is a lot easier to go to a store and find and replace than this stuff is. Also, another rule in traveling with gear is you cannot check lithium-ion batteries. Lithium batteries cannot go under the plane. They have to stay above the plane with you. So if you are going to check a bag, you have to make sure that all of your batteries are not in your checked bags. So inside this bag with my cameras and lenses, the only really other thing I have are my SD cards, my CFast cards, and then all my batteries, my 1DX batteries, my light stand batteries, and my EOS R batteries. All sit in here because they cannot go under the plane. And having batteries in here has actually saved me a few times because sometimes I'm on a super small, tight jet or something, and they say, sorry sir, this bag is gonna have to be checked, it's too big. And I say, I can't because there's lithium-ion batteries in there. And they say, okay, never mind, we'll put that in the captain's closet or something. What's not in here are my drone batteries. My drone batteries will usually go in my backpack because they can't fit in here. They're pretty bulky and big. So I'll keep them in my backpack so again, the batteries can be above the plane. But I love the Pelican 1535 because of how durable it is. I've had this for a while now and it hasn't broken on me. You can wheel it around, you can lock it, you can add locks to it. So as you can see, I can stand it up right here, boom, pull it around, and it just kind of wheels around like this. So huge fan. Okay, so next is my Pelican 1615 case, which is bigger, as you can see, from my 1535. And this bag I do check. This bag is full of a lot of things that, you know, when tossed around, won't get broken. The point of this bag mainly is to pack all the other equipment that I don't mind getting tossed around and or broken, because it's very durable, unlike my expensive, fragile cameras and lenses. So in here, mainly, I just use for my audio equipment, my Ronin, and my drone, and a couple other knickknacks here and there, and my lighting. I have all my battery chargers, my light chargers, my camera chargers, and I have some lights just kind of sitting here. Got my cores tucked away very nicely. They just kind of sit in there. I have my Ronin broken down a little bit, and it just sits right in here. My Ronin legs. Got my Brida thigh straps, can't go anywhere without those. Ronin handle, and then all my audio equipment. I got all my Tascams, my microphone, my F6, everything. And then I replaced the foam with this lid organizer. It's the Pelican 1615 lid organizer. It's all right. I think I could rearrange this better and have all my stuff here, down there, and just keep this foam, which would cause an extra layer of safety, extra layer of protection. But I like it. It works for now. I might change it out soon. Probably will. But for those of you who like convenience, you can't go wrong with this at all. In here, I have just a whole slew. I have my drone charger and then tons of audio cables, mainly as precautionary in case I run into a situation where I need a certain audio cable. I just have every type of cable imaginable for every situation. So they're all just right here. And I just have some knickknacks, some more audio cables, some lens cleaner solution, and stuff in here. On this side of the Pelican case, I have my drone, my DJI Mavic 2, packed away in its little case here. I could take it out and kind of organize this better, but added casing just adds for extra layers of protection. In fact, one of my friends, Sam, I'll show B-roll of his setup right now, took his drone out and actually minimalized all of his equipment that you see here into a 1535 Pelican case so that he has 2 small carry-ons and his second shooter just carries on the other one as a carry-on as opposed to risking and checking a bag. So there's so many ways to do it. I also have in my other 7200, again, an expensive lens, so I put it in another casing inside this Pelican case so that when this doesn't get tossed around by airport people, it's protected. Some microphone stuff. And this is my little audio kit. It's from Peak Design, little pouch. You just unzip it and it has all my main audio cables that I'll use, my Zoom H1N. So when I'm going to set up for the reception of the ceremony, I can just grab my kit, walk over to the DJ, and have my main cables and necessary equipment. So that just goes in here with my other core light. And yeah, love this. Got my Rode mic in there as well, if I didn't talk about that. So you just close this like every Pelican, lock it up, boom. As you can see, it's much bigger, but you check this thing, you can wheel it around, it carries everything I need. I love it, recommend it. One thing to keep in mind when checking a bag is that airports require checked luggage to have a max capacity of 50 pounds. So after some trial and error, I've made sure that to disperse the weight of my bags to make sure that my checked bags remain at 50 pounds or under, preferably around 45 to be safe. A great tool to have that Parker recommends is the E-Tech City travel scale, where you can turn it on, wrap it around the handles of your luggage, pull up, and it will tell you exactly how heavy it is. This one is 45 pounds. So I always carry this with me everywhere so that before I arrive at the airport, I weigh my luggage to make sure that I won't have any unnecessary surprises like, oh, by the way, sir, 55 pounds, you have to pay an extra $100, which I have done before. So I highly recommend this E-Tech City travel scale. Also, you guys, before we move on, everything you're seeing, my cases, my cameras, my lenses, my accessories, are all on my kit.co/Jake Weisler, so you can check that out if you want to get any of this stuff. Okay, moving on to my next check bag. I actually got this from Ray Roman, who recommended it. It's a Think Tank sticks bag. In the industry, you call your tripods, your light stands, your monopods, your sticks, and so this is a bag that holds your sticks, hence a stick bag. But essentially you could call it a tripod case, a light stand case, whatever you want to call it. But I call it my sticks bag. The reason I love this sticks bag, the Think Tank sticks bag, is because it's super padded, it's long, it can fit my 9-foot light stands that condense to about 42 inches or something like that. It can fit my monopods, my light stands, my tripod heads, my tripods, and it gives me enough room to pack my clothes and my toiletries so that I don't have to bring an extra suitcase just for clothes and shoes and socks and underwear and stuff like that. So let's get inside. This guy is long. As you can see, he's tall. He's a very tall guy. Kind of annoying to travel with, to be honest, kind of annoying to wheel around, but kind of a necessity. I have seen people get smaller, compact tripods and light stands and create a section in their Pelican, a thin section, and lay their tripod sticks and lay their sticks flat. However, those sticks usually end up being pretty crappy and not very tall. I get the heavy duty ones that, you know, will last me and not get knocked over and go up to 9 feet or 11 feet sometimes. So this is why I love this bag, and I check it and it's padded, triple padded, as you'll see inside. So highly recommend, love this case. So to show you how I do this, I'm actually gonna unpack this and then repack it just to show you how I place things and how I would pack this bag. Okay, so here's the bare bones of the sticks bag. As you can see, this foam is insanely heavy, very heavy duty. Got some zippers, some pouches where I have my EOS R batteries. You just slip those in here, super easy, zips up. They have some straps inside so that you can like tie your stuff down so it doesn't move around. Love this bag. One of the best things I've ever bought. So here I have my Manfrotto 9-foot tall light stands, and they fit perfectly. I measured before I bought at the bottom here. So I usually crisscross these, and they're just tight enough so they don't move around at all, which is also a great reason to buy them. Next up, I put my tripods. These are my Manfrotto 190 carbon fiber. I got the carbon fiber ones because they're a little bit lighter. It saves me some weight here because this thing is pushing 50 pounds. Just lay those on top. And then I'll use this thing that came with the Think Tank bag, and I will just kind of place it over my tripods to kind of hold them together. Grab my monopod. This is my iFootage monopod, and I put it in another padding because it's very important to me. And again, you could use your monopod, you can put your glide cam in here, whatever you want. I just use my monopod. Stick it right there. I have 3 tripod heads, 1 for each tripod, and then 1 for the monopod. And they just fit very nicely right in there. And then you have a lot of extra room. So, brought some pants. So when I'm traveling and I have my wedding attire, I'll kind of just pack it in there. My wedding shirt, pack it in there as well. And then like your toiletries bag, you can just kind of throw it on there as well. Boom. Zip it up, and this one actually Velcros on top of the zipper, so the zipper doesn't break off or anything. And we'll stand it up. Moment of truth. We'll weigh this bag. 47 pounds. Perfect. So for those wanting to know, I'm using Trek Pack dividers inside my Pelican case. Some Pelicans come with, you know, cutout foam or that yellow padding stuff, but I use the Trek Pack dividers because 1, it's padded and it's very minimal, so I can fit a lot more because the Trek Pack dividers don't take up as much space as other dividers do. But they're just as effective, and you can cut them however you want. They have these little red things you're seeing, they're just the tabs that hold them all together, and I have them in both of my Pelican cases. A couple little knickknacks I always carry with me. I have this little flat head. They used to attach my Manfrotto plates to my cameras. I know some people just have something on their key ring, or like they use a quarter, all work, but I just always like to have this because I don't really carry change or keys with me. And then yeah, this is great for my 3 camera bodies, my lenses. I got my 50 or 35 usually there, my 85, my wide angle 24, and then my 7200, my batteries, and my SD cards and stuff. And then I always carry, this is a older version of the Zoom H1N. I don't use this, but I use it as a backup in case they lose this bag with my audio equipment. At least I have this and some extra audio cables in my backpack, so that if they do lose that bag, I'm not high and dry on audio equipment. And I have at least the bare minimum. So when I'm traveling, I always have a second shooter with me. I can't think of the last time I traveled alone. I think I've always had a second guy with me this last year or two. So for one guy, you know, with my backpack on and these bags, it's a lot to carry. I probably couldn't do it myself without looking like a total idiot. But luckily when I have 2 guys, myself and another guy, one guy can take this and this, I can take this, and then he might have like a suitcase of clothes or his camera gear, whatever. So for even just a 2-man crew, this is a perfect amount of stuff for me, and it has everything I need. My tripods, my sticks, my audio equipment, drone, lighting, and my cameras and lenses and everything I need. And for me, comparing my gear to a lot of other wedding filmmakers, to me this is pretty minimal. And it might not look that way to you, depending on what your setup is. But for me, I'm trying to film the wedding using the least amount of gear I can that still meets my needs, and I still want to be safe. So I still have some extra things that I might not need or ever use, but just in case something breaks or I lose something, I always want a backup of some of the major things. So I'll carry my backpack on and this carry-on, and these 2 bags will get checked. Sometimes you don't need all that stuff, and a lot of you were asking me, okay, well, what about a very basic minimalistic 1-camera setup? How would you travel with that? And the answer is I would use the Wandered bag as the only bag to travel with. I don't know if it's the brand or because of how much it's helped me in the past or how durable it is or how safe it is, but this is like the best bag I've used, and I've used a lot of them. But there are also a lot of great camera bag brands out there. Wander's just the one I love, but there's also Peak Design and Nomad, all have great bags. An example of when I'd only travel with this is when I'm shooting like the New York video with Landon, where we were super on our feet, on the go, always running, had needed just 1 camera, a couple good lenses, and a small stabilizer. We carried our Wandered bags. So inside the Wandered bag, I'll show you. Very minimal. Here you have my laptop, slides in that pouch right there, and the laptop charger, which looks very bulky, but we can even that out in a second. And inside I have the Wandered camera cube, just kind of makes it more safe and secure. And here is a basic setup for what I would use to travel with to, you know, a travel video, or if I just wanted a quick run and gun setup. Under here are my SD cards that I carry with me, and then under here I have a little padding, and then my Mavic 2 drone. Flushed up against there, it's nice and tight and secure, but I put that padding on it and then put this on there. And then my 2 lenses, my 35 and my 85, also snug there using dividers. My DJI controller, my EOS R batteries, and here's my EOS R and adapter in this corner. So none of this is going anywhere. It's very secure, very stable. Got 2 great lenses, a wide enough lens and also a great lens for portraits, and then a good tight lens. And in this little pouch, I can carry my batteries, my drone chargers, my scale thing, so Tascam, some audio stuff, whatever you need, knickknacks, everything you need. And there's tons more pouches and zippers and compartments where you can put even more stuff in. But for me, that's kind of like a basic 1-bag camera setup. So guys, I hope that helps you kind of understand how to travel with your filmmaking gear and what bags to recommend for travel. There are so many rules and regulations per state and per country about what you can travel with and without, and what will be fined and what won't be fined. Like for example, I just traveled to Mexico, and because I had 3 camera bodies, they fined me like $500. And then the drone, because I went to Mexico from the US, I was also fined. They still let me use it, but I had to pay a fine. So just know that depending on the country, you might want to look that up about where you're traveling to, so what regulations there are, what laws there are about filmmaking gear and filmmaking in general. But that's it for today, guys. I hope that helped you understand how to travel with your gear. Again, maybe in 6 months, I'll have a completely different way of traveling, but for now, this is what I love and use and keeps my gear safe and protected and ensures that nothing gets stolen or lost. And again, there's no right way to travel. I just hope I gave you some good tips on how you can improve your traveling. And I'm sure I didn't get to every single question, so please, if your question was not answered, drop it in the comments below and I'd love to help. So if you have any further questions, just let us know.